Hi, I'm Rachel Murata, and I'm staff to the Joint Legislative Audit and Review Committee. We reviewed the objectives and results of a sales tax exemption for farm worker housing that was created in 1996. We infer the objective is to incentivize building farm worker housing and to help alleviate a shortage of housing for farm workers. Employment in Washington agriculture fluctuates every year, with more workers in the summer months. This exemption applies to the construction of both permanent and seasonal housing. Permanent housing usually houses local workers who live in that place year-round. Seasonal housing typically houses non-local farm workers who may come from other regions temporarily for work. Since the exemption was created, we've identified about 2,500 units of permanent housing and about 30,000 seasonal beds that have been built. Developers don't need to report when they use the exemption, so it's not clear how many of those were built using it. The housing likely did not eliminate the farm worker housing shortage. A 2012 report estimated the shortage of housing for about 15,000 local farm workers and 36,000 non-local workers. We found the new housing built since that time is not enough to meet the shortage. At the same time, employment in agriculture has increased. The 2019 legislature funded a new study of farm worker housing needs. That report is expected in the fall of 2020. Of the 30,000 seasonal beds that have been built, at least 84% were built in connection with the federal visa program. This program requires employers to provide housing for their workers. Housing built for the visa program likely was not caused by the exemption, since it's a requirement of the program. The rest of the seasonal housing and the permanent housing may have been incentivized by the preference. We also found that the exemption's requirements may not align with current housing practices and other funding requirements. For instance, housing that serves multiple populations is not eligible for this exemption. Some developers build housing for farm workers in combination with others, such as large families or people with disabilities. Housing funded by other state programs, like the Housing Finance Commission and Housing Trust Fund, may not qualify for the exemption because it uses a different definition for agricultural employee. The legislative auditor recommends the legislature clarify the preference by including a performance statement and determining if the preference should align with other housing practices or be maintained in its current form. Please visit our website to view the full report.